Hey, Omega.
Yes, Gunner.
You know, all those jokes that I used to do, they were pre-recorded. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Well, today, it appears that we're doing it live on this new thing called Spreaker. Hello, everybody. So Mr. Sound Producer Man, will you hit our music?
If I can be serious for a minute.
This is Wicked Serious number 74. I am Gunner. That is Omega BR.
I think you mean this is Woo Get Serious 1.
Oh yeah, this is 1 on the Spreaker network at least. Joining us this week is our wonderful sound producer,
Always
Mr.
online.
TDS. Always online.
Hello.
And this week we have a guest, the dunce of the room, and all in all, good pal to the show. Everybody say hi to Net Duster.
And so I told her, she's pushing 70 years old, and I had to say to her, you just don't look good in a bikini anymore. But she said, well, it's my life, dude, so if I want to go out on the beach and go naked, that's my choice. Damn it, Gunner, are we... All right, I'm going to hang up the phone. Gunner, you should have told me we were starting the show. I mean it.
NetJester, please leave and never come back.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's start with the news. TMZ reports that Austin Aries was hit with a severe fine for the crotching of incident involving Christy Hemme on Impact 2 weeks ago. Dixie Carter addressed the situation on Twitter, saying that TNA has zero tolerance for inappropriate behavior. The incident with Austin Aries was taken very seriously and handled immediately. Carter also told the UK Sun that she thinks Magnus is the future of the company, saying that he's really grown. He's a fabulous talker, and in-ring work has come so far. He's gorgeous and carries himself like a superstar. Magnus is the real deal. In an interview with Digital Sky, Carter said that she would be open to WWE vs. TNA event and that she believes competition is healthy. I love it when Dixie Carter talks. It's like propaganda out the butt.
This might be the first time we started the news with TNA, but yeah. Carter has always been high on Magnus for whatever reason, but describing him as gorgeous, well. Also, of course she would love to have a WWE versus TNA event. Competition is healthy when you're not at the top. Also, I think that crotching thing was way overblown. I'm not defending that it happened, but I think they only cared about it because so many other people outside the situation cared about it, namely certain people who went to Spike TV, and then Spike TV got involved, and etc. Well, it seems that Detroit, Michigan, and Windsor, Ontario, Canada are putting together a joint bid to host WrestleMania 31 or 32, with Ford Field hosting the titular event and Windsor hosting the surrounding festivities. They teamed up back at WrestleMania 23, which of course was held at Ford Field, and an investment of $60,000 by Windsor resulted in a $624,000 benefit for them. So certainly they would love to get the event back once again.
That would be interesting. Save the border. I think that's a great idea for Windsor and Detroit right there. However, I'm going to not exactly be thrilled with this international thing because of that border crossing right there. And it takes literally like 30 to 45 minutes going across on an average day. And then you get randomly flagged, and you get pulled over, and then, you have your stuff tossed, and that's terrible.
No, we're talking stuff tossed, not salad tossed, Yankum. Get your head out of the gutter.
I'm talking luggage here. And let me tell you something about
I bet you've had your luggage tossed a few times.
Yankum, you would only speak from experience. But in all seriousness, it would be very difficult for... If you held it at Ford's Field, and then you hold the festivities in Canada, A, it's a cool idea, B, it's a shit idea. Not gonna lie.
And isn't Detroit sort of hell on earth as a city?
It's not exactly the prettiest place.
Let's just say it's gone through its share of tough economic times.
Detroit is Detroit. That's all you can say about it. With Paul Bearer all but announced for the 2014 Hall of Fame class, word now spreading is that The Undertaker may be due for an induction himself, rather than doing the honor of inducting Bearer. Another name being considered is Jake the Crackhead Roberts, who continues to get into shape under DDP. Roberts announced this week that he will be ring ready in time for the 2014 Royal Rumble and plans to be in the titular match. He also has begun taking classes and has been offered a role in an indie film. Good for him, I guess.
It'll be quite the moment when the Roberts music hits during the 2014 Rumble, and he comes out and eliminates a few guys and, doesn't win, obviously, but hopefully that will come to fruition. I hear he's doing quite well in the house, even though he might have some old school mentality still when it comes to dealing with people, but as long as he's clean and everything. I hear he actually sung the national anthem at a baseball game recently.
Jake the Snake Roberts can sing.
That doesn't surprise me. This will be pretty cool. This will be the just comeback stories pretty much ever, if this were to happen. I believe it will, to be completely honest with you, and he'll go into the Hall of Fame after that, which will be really nice. And then they can do a new DVD on him, and paint him in a little better light. Just saying. Speaking of a guy who you can only see if you just close your eyes, the latest word on Christian is that he'll be poised to return after Extreme Rules when creative nails down a plan for it. Evan Bourne had a match at Developmental, but was deemed not ready to come back just yet, although he may be paired with Sin Cara when he does. Speaking of Developmental, recent hire Sami Zayn, Z-A-Y-N, has been praised for his high energy, but is asked to limit the number of high-flying spots he does in each match. Rey Mysterio has a doctor visit on June 19th for a minor procedure and hopes he'll be ring ready by August. And the reason Booker T hasn't been on TV in recent weeks is because he suffered a freak torn triceps and had to have surgery after getting an elbow infection. That's your Booker T right there.
Oh, it's just amazing to me that they're coming down on our favorite masked luchador so early, saying he can't do his high-flying stuff as much as... That's what all the fans love him for, and they're just... I just hope they'll make up for this later when they finally do the luchador reveal, but, this news.
Well, it's more of a matter of not doing so many in each match, because, if people get used to it, then they're going to get tired of it. And plus, he'll look a lot better compared to other talents. He can't... you can't be doing top rope brainbusters each match, whereas, your average match on Raw has, maybe an Irish whip into the corner as the big spot, Plus, there's a safety aspect. As far as, just for him in general, they said that Fandango doesn't do the top rope leg drop quite as frequently because, the more you do that, the more it's killer on the legs and the knees, and over time, if you're doing it, 4 or 5 times a week, then...
Yeah. Alright, we're going to wrap this up with some, whatchamacallit, it's... there are rumors that TNA is close to signing a deal for a new video game. Jerry Lawler will return to the ring for the first time since his heart attack to team with Dory Funk Jr. and Johnny Magnum in Funk's promotion called Bang. USA Today reports that WWE will donate $1.2 million to Chris Nowinski's Sports Legacy Fund over the next 3 years for head injury research. Word got out that Kane may be interested in running against Senator Lamar Alexander for Tennessee Senate, but he shut down the rumor, saying he has no plans to run for office at this moment. Okay, get this: Kane trying to pass a bill, and giving some of the hellfire and brimstone, and then just raising his arms up and pulling them down, and all of a sudden the American flag bursts into flames.
I am moving to Tennessee right now. I will see you guys later.
He could come into the chambers with his mask on, like the great Sasuke does in Japan, and I don't think any of those pansy Democrats would try and go against him.
Not sure if want here, but it'd be a hell of a news clip for all the cable news shows.
TNA also has debuted new lottery tickets in Georgia.
Are they like the Ric Flair ones?
Well, they have 2 stars on each one. I think, like Gail Kim and Velvet Sky are on one, and Bobby
Do you
Roode.
think they're with the company anymore?
Maybe. I'll have to double check.
Alright, let's stop laughing at TNA's misfortune, because we'll do that later on. Right now, it's time for the 15-minute time limit. The 15-minute time limit. With this week, we're going to be talking about Extreme Rules. Extreme Rule. Did it suck? And it kind of did. Kinda. We'll run through the card here quickly. The Miz defeated Cody Rhodes in the pre-show. What'd you guys think of this?
It's what we thought it would be, warming up the crowd. Nothing special.
I didn't even watch the pre-show. Like, I knew there was a pre-show, and I had all the opportunity necessary to watch the pre-show, but I did not watch the pre-show.
Oh, Miz looks hungry enough that he wants back into the title picture. Whether or not that's a good thing or a bad thing, all depends, but I thought it was a solid opener.
So you also on the pre-show, not just the match, but now they're doing this thing that they did at WrestleMania where they have this panel of people up in the crowd, like an ESPN, desk. And it was Wade Barrett, Titus O'Neil, Mick Foley, and the new girl they have who serves as the moderator. I forget her name.
Unfortunately, she's very forgettable, but yeah.
Honestly, I thought it was Natalia when I saw her.
That's gotta sound.
Do you guys actually watch? Do you guys actually watch those? The beginning and end, the pre-shows and post-shows?
Oh, yeah.
For lack of anything else better to do, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I will say, I think it's not a horrible idea, but it's also kind of goofy because you have Wade Barrett and Titus O'Neil kind of trying to talk like analysts instead of, being themselves and their characters. And plus, they made Wade Barrett put on he was wearing his own shirt, and then at some point, they made him put on a button-up shirt.
Yes! I mean, if they're going to do this to everybody, it seems rather ridiculous.
I'll be honest, I will always mark for Mick Foley in a blazer.
Yeah, something about the wild man actually getting some sort of streak of senility. No, senility. I'm being senile.
Yes, you are. We're going to move on here to Chris Jericho defeating Fandango, the Codebreaker. Bueno?
This was better, more polished than the WrestleMania match. I don't know if the feud has a ton of traction going forward, but it was a pretty decent opener to the show itself, I think. Particularly the way it happened, because Fandango was on the top rope and he was going for the leg drop, but then Jericho caught him in midair with the Codebreaker.
Oh, that was a hell of a finish. I think all in all, this match was okay. Fandango's definitely getting better. And, the way he hightailed it out of the... Or was that... Nope, that was Raw. Sorry, never mind.
Yeah, I personally enjoyed... I caught a little bit of this match, but not too much, because I was, distracted and busy and whatnot. But I think that this feud going forward will be very interesting to see if they have a rubber match at Payback, which they should, in my opinion.
So how about Dean Ambrose winning the United States strap from Kofi Kingston?
Well, besides Wu having their typical orgasmic obsession with all things S.H.I.E.L.D., this Kofi Kingston match of Ambrose against Kofi Kingston showed me something about actually what Ambrose can do. And when he's with the S.H.I.E.L.D., the S.H.I.E.L.D. work as a unit. Having somebody do something singles on their own and getting a title is what you can really see how good a person can do.
One thing I can say about Ambrose that I can't necessarily say about everybody on the roster is that he has a very strong ring presence in terms of, when he gets hit hard, he lets you know he was hit hard, facial expressions and things like that.
That man is a wealth of reaction faces.
He is a reaction machine, basically.
I think at some point he's going to replace Cena in the reaction face, the world of reaction faces on Woo even, because some of the stuff that he comes up with is absolutely amazing.
All right, we're going to move on here to Sheamus defeating Mark Henry in the strap match.
This was probably the best strap match I've seen in a long time. That's not to say it was amazing, a must-see or anything, but, they did things that I don't think I've seen before, like Sheamus, even Lawler said it, Sheamus going to the outside to touch the turnbuckles, going around the ring apron.
Yeah, new little interesting stuff. The way they actually went around picking your opponent up and just the standard stuff to dragging them along to actually doing something along the lines that Sheamus did, and the technical innovation, more or less, with those new corner post lights. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, the lights on the corner post and Sheamus going around the outside of the ring to touch the corners was pretty good. It wasn't a bad strap match, which is saying something because strap matches don't exactly have. I can only think of maybe one or two that were any good off the top of my head.
And they, as I predicted, they did the spot where Sheamus hit the buckle right after Henry did until they were about 3-3, and then they had to fight over that last buckle.
So basically what they did is turn this into American Gladiators with the light-up posts, because I missed the match. And I'm thinking in my head like the giant light-up pylons.
Oh my god, American Gladiators.
They've had the light-up before, but yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Although you mentioned Gladiators, I think that's kind of what happened, because it was almost like Sheamus was the contestant going against Henry the Gladiator, and the Gladiators just kind of, hip-checking him the whole time and slamming him, and they did okay for, what the match, what they had to work with and everything.
Alright, we're going to move on to Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger in the I Quit match. Del Rio beating Swagger in the, pretty much obvious.
Yeah, did I or did I not, on this program last week, say that Zeb Coulter would take Ricardo's towel and throw it in the ring, and the referee would count that as a win for Swagger?
Well, either they listen to our podcast or they're really running out of good ideas to end matches, one or the other.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
I think
exactly.
that
I was about to say.
I think that Omega is Sting with the apostrophe at the end of his name.
You mean the comma?
Oh yeah, is it a comma? Yeah, it's a comma. So Omega BR, our resident WWE insider with creative.
Now, to be fair, they did restart the match, and with instant replay, and they're hyping it as the first ever instant replay. So is this really goofy, or does this make sense in the sense that now Coulter can whine poetic about conspiracies and unfairness and this and that?
Both.
All of the above.
We're going to move on here to Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins defeating Team Hell No on the Tornado Tag to win the Tag Team Championships. Hell yes, Hell No loses the belts. I'm not saying that they should. I'm not saying that they should break up, but I'm saying that it was about time for them to drop the straps into the Shield, nonetheless, which is actually a great choice.
Well, Team Hell No is my favorite tag team, but this was a hell of a fun match, and if you're gonna drop the straps, this is a good way to do it.
They've been doing this a lot lately with the Shield and these sort of extended tag matches, and they've been doing it on Raw with these trio matches, Shield versus whomever, Hell No and Kofi or whatever. And it's like, they're really good. They're really good for pure wrestling and brawling. I can't necessarily remember specific big-time spots, but in terms of just pure action, these are really good.
Alright, I'm going to move on here to Randy Orton defeating Big Show in the Extreme Rules match.
Yeah, that was pretty much the opposite of action. I think I said last week. Yeah, pretty much that they brought out a few weapons, they did a few things, but the RKO was inevitable.
I don't think anybody thought that match was going to be good, though.
Well, I actually thought that maybe it would be, just because traditionally these two, when they've been in similar matches with other people, things have happened that are more kind of notable. The notable thing really happened in the Last Man Standing instead.
Well, hold on just for 1 second. The one thing notable about the Show versus Orton was, of course, the return of the punt.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. But, yeah, I mean...
That, I will say that I have missed the punt. I'm glad it is back.
As a deadly weapon in the arsenal, it's fine, but it's also not something that's super... I don't know, it doesn't really do it for,
No gunner punt, not cunt.
All right, we're gonna move on here. We're gonna go to the last man standing match. By the way, this is the part where I actually started paying attention.
Up until they...
This was terrible.
Yeah, up until they left the ring. This was really lame. Really weak. Like, and then they do the whole get to the stage, and then Ryback with through the video wall and the no contest, and, you know, I don't know. Yes, it makes sense to progress the feud and say, oh, Cena's hurt, he's not going to make it, but, you know, as an actual thing to have to watch, it didn't really flow very well.
No, it didn't, and I didn't enjoy it, and I thought it was stupid, and I thought they should have just put the strap on Ryback, and that would have been
Yeah,
nice.
they probably should have.
Well, hold on. It's not like they could just have Ryback go clean over Cena.
Well, why not?
Well, no, he goes dirty.
Well, last man standing, you know, I mean, there are opportunities to say, well, I mean, like, you know, they both go through the video wall, so Cena's hurt, but what if he puts him through the video wall himself, or gets the win right there, or, you know what I mean?
This was just a terrible match and a terrible excuse to give a no contest. All right, we're gonna get to the main event, which was Brock Lesnar versus Triple H, and oh man,
Shovel Man!
Sadly, this might have been the best match of the three. But man, was it goofy. I mean, it was so goofy. I mean, you have
super
Lesnar.
goofy.
You have Lesnar flailing around, begging, telling Paul how much his knee hurt. You have Triple H with the hidden sledgehammer. You have Paul getting in the ring and, you know, flopping around. And
The hidden
sledgehammer thing was the worst. Was the worst of all of that. And then Brock Lesnar going over clean, which he should have, because that makes him more credible. All right, so that's going to be it for the 15-minute time.
Let me just say that I don't, you know, I was over this feud last year at SummerSlam, and I don't think it has really done. They're not horrible, god-awful matches, but I don't think the feud's done anything for either guy. And I think if you told me a year ago that you spent $5 million on Brock Lesnar and he had 4 matches and 3 of them were with Triple H, I would have said, complete waste of money.
All right, so that's it for the 15-minute time limit. I'm gonna do a couple plugs here, and then we're gonna play a song by Super Blizzard. Yank, what song are we playing today?
We're playing the Sin Cara theme by Shining Wizardo.
Okay, you can check out Super Blizzard at superblizzard.com, or you can follow her on Twitter at twitter.com/superblizzard. Okay, you can follow us on smartsnark.com. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/smartsnark. You can follow us on Twitter. We yank them tweets every, Monday and Sunday, whenever there's a pay-per-view. Twitter.com/smartsnark. And here is your song. We'll be right back.
Sin Cara. Can you watch this a joke? This Huracan water will never work. Comes the ropes, that was nice. This match was recorded twice in a row. Here comes the Sin Cara. In the heat of the light, he comes out of the blue, and with all of his might, points his finger at you. Sin Cara, friendly neighborhood Sin Cara. Wears a mask, only fights underneath stupid lights of God. Here comes the Sin Cara. Look out, here comes the Sin Cara. Protect your necks, here comes the Sin Cara.
And we'll be right back.